Ah, Japan. Land of sushi, samurai, cherry blossoms, and futuristic toilets. A place where ancient temples sit beside glowing vending machines and tradition walks hand in hand with cutting-edge innovation. But have you ever wondered where the name Japan actually comes from? Did the Japanese people name it? Was it a translation glitch? Or did Marco Polo just get lost in translation? By the end of this video, you'll know how Japan got its name and what they actually call their country. And how Marco Polo might be responsible for one of the biggest name mix-ups in geography. Also, we're diving into its culture, food, politics, military, famous figures, and what to see and avoid if planning a trip. So, line to Turoku wo yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Or please, like and subscribe. Go ahead, laugh out, I know my Japanese isn't perfect. So, let's start with what the people of Japan actually call their country, Nihon or Nippon. Both names mean origin of the sun, or more poetically, land of the rising sun. This makes perfect sense geographically since Japan lies to the east of China, where the sun rises. The name first appeared in Chinese documents during the 7th century, and the Japanese adopted it themselves with Nippon and Nihon, both being acceptable pronunciations. Today, Nippon is often used for official government and sporting events, while Nihon is more common in daily conversation. So, if you're in Japan and say Japan, don't be surprised if someone politely corrects you. Oh, you mean Nihon? Enter Marco Polo, the Venetian explorer who never actually visited Japan. Instead, he heard about it from Chinese traders while exploring Asia in the 13th century. The Chinese word for Japan was riben, but in the southern dialect Polo encountered, riben sounded more like zipangu. How? Just how? No, really, how? Polo returned with tales of a mystical island nation rich in gold and culture which he called Sipangu. Over time this evolved in European languages to Japan, then Japan. So yes, we call Japan as Japan, because of a misheard Chinese word repeated by a man who never set foot there, the wonders of history. Japan is a constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary government. That means it has an emperor, currently Emperor Naruhito, but he serves as a symbolic figure. The real power lies with the Prime Minister and the elected Diet, Japan's parliament. The country has one of the world's most stable democratic systems, and regularly ranks among the safest, most developed nations on Earth. And despite being home to samurai, Japan's modern military, called the Japan Self-Defense Forces, JSDF, is strictly defensive. After World War II, Japan adopted a pacifist constitution. Its military focuses on national defense, humanitarian missions, and supporting international peacekeeping. However, Japan still has one of the most advanced and well-equipped defense forces in Asia. Japan's culture is a masterclass in balance between nature and technology, old and new. You see it in the meticulous rituals of tea ceremonies where every movement is steeped in purpose. You hear it in the thunder of taiko drums and the delicate notes of the shakuhachi flute. And you live it during Japan's many festivals, or matsuri. Hanami in spring celebrates cherry blossom season with outdoor picnics under blooming sakura trees. Gion Matsuri in Kyoto is a grand summer festival featuring massive decorative floats. Obon, held in August, honors the spirits of ancestors through dance, food and lanterns floating on rivers. Tanabata celebrates star-crossed lovers with colorful paper wishes hanging from bamboo trees. Then there's origami, the traditional Japanese art of paper folding. More than just a craft, origami reflects the values of precision, patience and beauty in simplicity. From cranes symbolizing peace to intricate geometric designs, it's a quiet yet powerful expression of Japanese culture that's been passed down through generations. And finally there's inamuri, a cultural twist that might surprise you. Inamuri means something like sleeping while present. In many countries, dozing off at work would be career suicide, but in Japan, it's almost a badge of honor. Inamuri isn't seen as laziness, it's seen as dedication. If you're caught napping at your desk or even during a meeting, it can signal that you've been working so hard, you've reached exhaustion. Of course, there's a subtle art to it. You're still supposed to look like you're technically available, just resting. It's one of those fascinating Japanese quirks that blends a high work ethic with a surprising level of cultural empathy. At the heart of Japanese culture is wa, the concept of harmony. It shows in everything, the way people bow, the way gifts are wrapped, and even how silence is used in conversation. Tradition is everywhere in Japan, from the bowing etiquette to the art of wrapping gifts with care. As far as sports goes, sumo is the national sport, and matches are filled with ceremony, ritual, and raw power. Wrestlers throw salt to purify the ring, stomp to drive out evil spirits, and then collide with thunderous force. But Japan also loves baseball. Stadiums feel like K-pop concerts. There are chants along with coordinated fan dances and bento boxes instead of hot dogs. Japan also excels in tennis, gymnastics, figure skating, and martial arts that emphasize honor, discipline, and inner balance, like judo, karate, kendo, and aikido. And don't overlook esports and pro wrestling, where Japan's creativity shines in the digital arena and theatrical showdowns. Also, the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, held in 2021, where Japan won a record number of medals, and it reminded the world of its athletic excellence. In the kitchen, Japanese food is both an art and a science. Start with sushi, the world-famous combination of vinegared rice and fresh fish, crafted with almost mathematical precision. Then there's ramen, a hearty noodle soup with countless regional varieties. Try okonomiyaki, a savory pancake filled with meats, veggies, and topped with bonito flakes that dance in the heat. Don't miss takoyaki, octopus balls cooked to golden perfection, and tonkatsu, a breaded pork cutlet that's crispy, tender, and dipped in tangy sauce. For dessert, go for mochi, chewy rice cakes filled with red bean paste or ice cream. And to drink, matcha green tea, or if you're feeling bold, a shot of sake or a cold Asahi beer. Japanese gastronomy will make you burp arigato. And speaking of burping, don't worry, I won't. But there's a common myth floating around that burping after a meal in Japan is seen as a compliment to the chef. But here's the truth. In Japanese culture, burping at the table is actually considered rude and impolite. Unlike some cultures where it might signal satisfaction, in Japan, good manners and quiet appreciation usually comes with a respectful itadakimasu, which is the Japanese bon appetit, and a humble gochisu-sama deshita, which is being thankful for the meal. So if you're dining in Japan, maybe keep that burp to yourself. Japanese dining etiquette is all about subtlety, cleanliness, and quiet respect. Slurping noodles loudly? Totally fine, it shows you're enjoying your ramen, but burping? That's crossing the line into rude territory. Japan has certainly given the world pioneers in every field. Starting with Hayao Miyazaki, master of animation and creator of the popular Studio Ghibli and classics like Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro. Then we have Marie Kondo, the queen of minimalism whose KonMari method sparked global tidying frenzies. Hideo Kojima, a legendary video game designer known for Metal Gear Solid and Death Stranding. Naomi Osaka, tennis champion and four-time Grand Slam winner, who's brought diversity and advocacy to center court. Shohei Ohtani, baseball superstar who hits and pitches at elite levels. A modern-day Babe Ruth. Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball, whose anime legacy transcends generations. Yoko Ono, cultural icon, peace activist and musician. Widely known for her avant-garde art and marriage to John Lennon. Also there's Nobel laureates like Hideki Yukawa, physics, and Kenzaburo Oe, literature, proving that creativity and intellect go hand in hand. Here's some facts and curiosities about Japan. It has more than 5 million vending machines, selling everything, from snacks to umbrellas and yes, even hot meals. The Japanese train system is so precise that delays over 5 minutes often come with written apologies. Japan has a crying sumo competition where wrestlers try to make babies cry. It sounds mean, but it's said to bring good health. While the number 4, or shi, is associated with death, the number 9, or ku, is also avoided because it sounds like the word for suffering or pain. On the flip side, the number 7, or shichi, is considered lucky, associated with celebrations like the Shichi-Go-San festival, which honors the growth of young children. Meanwhile, the number 4, considered deeply unlucky, is often avoided entirely. In hospitals you might not see a room 4, it's a reminder of how deeply numerology is embedded in Japanese daily life. In apartment buildings the 4th floor could be skipped, like how elevators in the West often leave out the 13th. Gifts are rarely given in sets of 4, and some parents will avoid naming their children with characters that contain the shi sound. It's a subtle but ever-present superstition, reminding us how language and symbolism can shape everyday life. And what about chopsticks? In Japan, sticking chopsticks upright into a bowl of rice is a major no-no. Why? Because it mirrors a funeral ritual where a bowl of rice is placed on an altar with chopsticks standing vertically in it. Doing this at the dinner table is considered extremely disrespectful, even ominous. It's a small gesture, but it carries deep cultural weight. Now here's a curious one. If you see a hearse or a funeral car driving by in Japan, you're supposed to hide your thumbs. The word for thumb is oyayubi, meaning parent finger. By hiding your thumbs, you're symbolically protecting your parents from death. It's a quiet, reflexive superstition that many people still follow, even if they don't fully know why. More than 80% of Japan is covered in mountains and forests, making it a hiker's dream. There are also entire cafes dedicated to owls, hedgehogs, and capybaras. But not all facts and curiosities are smiles, and no story about Japan is complete without acknowledging one of the most tragic chapters in its history, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. In the final days of World War II, the United States dropped 2 nuclear bombs, one on Hiroshima on August 6 and another on Nagasaki on August 9. The devastation was immediate and unimaginable. Over 100,000 people were killed instantly, with tens of thousands more dying from injuries and radiation over the following months. The bombings played a key role in Japan's decision to surrender, effectively ending the war. But they also left a deep scar on the national consciousness. Today, Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park and the Genbaku Dome stand as powerful symbols of remembrance and peace. Japan has since become one of the world's most vocal advocates for nuclear disarmament, turning tragedy into a global message of hope. Planning a trip? Here are some places you should visit. Despite a few areas requiring caution, Japan is among the world's safest and most welcoming destinations. With respect and curiosity, every corner of the country becomes an unforgettable adventure. Tokyo. Japan's hyper-modern capital is a neon jungle of skyscrapers, fashion, and endless activity. Wander through the bustling streets of Shibuya, visit ancient Sensoji Temple in Asakusa, or explore tech haven Akihabara. Don't miss the tranquil Meiji Shrine nestled inside a peaceful forest near Harajuku, Kyoto. Once the imperial capital of Japan, Kyoto is the country's spiritual and cultural heart. It's home to over 1,000 temples and shrines, including the golden Kinkakuji, Golden Pavilion, and the sprawling Fushimi Inari Taisha, famous for its thousands of red torii gates. Gion, the old geisha district, offers a glimpse into centuries-old traditions. Mount Fuji. Japan's tallest and most iconic mountain is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Whether you're climbing it during the official hiking season or admiring it from Lake Kawaguchi, Fuji's snow-capped peak is an unforgettable sight, especially during sunrise. Osaka. The friendliest, most food-obsessed city in Japan, known for its bold personality and street food heaven. Dotonbori, where neon signs light up the canal. Try local specialties like takoyaki and okonomiyaki and visit the historic Osaka Castle surrounded by cherry blossoms in spring. Hokkaido. The northernmost island is a paradise for nature lovers and winter sports enthusiasts. Visit Sapporo during its famous snow festival, relax in natural hot springs in Noboribetsu, or explore national parks filled with volcanic lakes, fields of lavender, and migrating cranes. Some places you should be more cautious or avoid are the Shibuya crossing during rush hour. While iconic, it's also one of the busiest pedestrian crossings in the world. During peak hours, it can feel like a river of people, especially for those unfamiliar with the area. Kabukicho, Tokyo. Located in Shinjuku, it's Tokyo's biggest red light district. While it's mostly safe, it's known for scams, aggressive touts, and overpriced bars. Stick to well-lit areas and avoid going into clubs without clear signage or menus. You should also keep an eye for overpriced tourist traps. Around major attractions like Kyoto's temples or Tokyo's shrines, you might encounter pricey souvenirs or authentic experiences that aren't very authentic. Do some research beforehand or ask locals for recommendations. So what do we take away from Japan? It's not just the land of the rising sun, it's a country shaped by poetic philosophy, futuristic dreams, and centuries-old traditions. It's a land where you can slurp ramen in a neon-lit alley one moment and meditate at a 1,000-year-old temple the next. Its name may have come from a misheard foreign phrase, but its identity is unmistakably its own. Japan has risen from tragedy and war, built itself into a global economic force, and gifted the world with art, culture, discipline, and creativity in ways few other nations have. Whether it's the emotional beats of a Studio Ghibli film, the quiet power of a Zen garden, the rush of a bullet train, or the bite of wasabi in perfect sushi, Japan lingers in your memory long after you leave. Now tell me, did you already know Japan calls itself Nihon? And what other country would you like to hear about next? Let me know in the comments, and while at it, don't forget to like and subscribe before a sumo wrestler rolls in and steals your bento. Okay, this time will be better, hear me out. Yanimata ne ramen daisuki desu. That means see you later, I love ramen. Okay, look, my Japanese is about as good as my chopstick skills, functional but slightly embarrassing.